Welcome to day 3, my friends. I hope yesterday was insightful, not too quick, on pace. We started building, and as I promised, we're going to start the day off by comparing our 3 builds, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about how I pick my winners, but that's going to be a bigger discussion in future days. For now, let's just open them up. Let's just look through them, right? All right, we got the first one. So this is the one where I think, this is the one where we use the plan mode, right? So Lovable, assume the role or brainstorming, building partner for us, right? And I can see that it already seems to have added in user authentication, right? And probably integrated Lovable Cloud. That's something we're going to be actually covering later in future sessions. Going to talk about backend and Lovable Cloud. Not going to spend too much time on it today. We're still in this design mode mind shift, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly create my account so that I can get into this app and see how it looks like. Give me one moment to authenticate and I'll be back with you. All right, and we're in, right? Cool. All right, so just one prompt. What I'm looking here when I'm trying to decide is this worth building or not is understanding whether the baseline structure was set up properly. Is this already optimized for mobile? Is this going to be something that I'm going to have to perpetually fix from a design perspective first and foremost? Because guess what? Tools like Lovable can make your apps work, period. They will just work. So don't worry about that. If you asked me a year ago, I would have told you, make it work, then make it pretty. Now I'm going to go completely in the other direction. Make it pretty, you'll make it work anyways, right? So I think that's the important bit for me. Do I like the colors? Do I like the typography? Am I going to be stuck fixing something that I genuinely dislike? Maybe it's too early to make a decision yet on it. Doesn't matter. Just look through it. Take a glance at it, switch to the other one. All right, this is the second build. This is the build that we were doing by using my Lovable base prompt GPT. So if you remember, yesterday, did a brain dump, produced this, copied it in, and here we are, right? Now, let's see how this one looks like. I personally like this second one, and we all have different tastes. I can see how some of you may like the first one better. Let's see how it looks like on mobile. Great. This is already shaping itself as a mini app, which is also a lesson we're going to be covering. Lovable today cannot produce native mobile apps. However, that doesn't mean your apps should not look or feel or be mobile friendly or built to be progressive web applications. There's going to be a whole lesson on that. So stick with me. We got 26 whatever days left till we end this journey together, right? I like this one better. So instead of me trying to build this one and this one in parallel, I already know I'm going to kill it. All right, let's look at the third one, right? The third one was just the brain dump. No plan mode, no nothing. I was just in this mode of I'm just gonna let Lovable do it for me, right? Obviously not everything is functional, nor it should be, nor you should expect it to. I'm gonna explain to you why in future lessons. Not all the stuff will work on the go. What you need now is not the app to be fully functional. You just need to be able to make a decision what's worth building, right? And again, I can see personally that I'm going to have to build in some of the functions that I already have inside here. So I'm killing this one, right? And just like that, I picked my winner very quickly based on the premise that this app has the highest amount of functionality of all 3, looks the closest to what I feel should app be in the end as an end result. So I think I would continue to build this one, right? Now, not to take away from lesson number 3 today, I'm going to give you another way to start, which is a very fun one too, because it's kind of new. I don't know if all of you have tried it, so I want to make sure that you do, right? I don't know if you know this, but you can start building Lovable apps from ChatGPT directly, right? So instead of this copy pasting that I've did through my Lovable base prompting, why don't I just do this, right? So I'm going to go to ChatGPT And make sure that you just use regular chat, no custom GPTs, no nothing, right? And what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna pick an app out of some of the ones that I have in my lesson for day 3, which is gonna talk about how to be deliberate, right? And how to get to from a story to a solution, right? And how to trigger a build from ChatGPT, right? Instead of me reading this out, because all of you know how to read, I'm going to switch over to prompts, right? And again, similar to yesterday, like the structure is a little bit different because we are trying to talk about getting deeper into the weeds here and using ChatGPT as a companion and Lovable as the executor of your vision. I'm going to take this thinking partner prompt, and this is the one that I would suggest people that are just starting off. Just click on the copy button like yesterday here, and you're going to have to paste your day 2 story. So if you used my companion app, the story builder in day 2, this is where this is going to come in handy. So just regular ChatGPT chat, and I'm just going to delete this, right? And then leave enough space here so that I can put my story in from day 2. In my case, it's right here. It's this one. It's the same story I've used to build the original prompt. So I'm just going to take this and then copy it in here. And the difference why I'm triggering the build, by the way, from a regular chat versus a GPT chat is just the limitation of ChatGPT. Unfortunately, you still cannot use apps from the App Store and GPTs together. I think that will be a killer combo. So if anybody from OpenAI is watching, this is an official feature request from my side. Until that's the case though, right? I'm just doing this, right? I'm getting into the conversation with ChatGPT, and instead of using Lovable planning mode or using Lovable as a companion, I'm using ChatGPT as a companion because I know that a lot of you may be price sensitive, token sensitive. You're thinking, okay, well, I'm chatting with Lovable too much. I'm investing tokens, not wasting, investing. It's all an investment. For those that just want to save, I'm going against the brand here. I'm teaching you how to spend less credits, right? So as you can see here, I'm getting some questions. You're not confused, you're overloaded. Okay, below is a clean statement. And so whenever you're ready, whenever you feel like this is ready to go, this is all that you have to do, right? Before we do this though, before I make the next step, let me just emphasize one thing. Ideally, just for the sake of having a good flow, my personal advice at this stage is prompt ChatGPT to only build a demo, right? No backend, no integration, simply because these decisions may require your approval inside Lovable's app and may interrupt this flow. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use Whisperflow, right, to dictate, which is my second favorite tool. Lovable's number 1, Whisperflow is definitely number 2, and just say this out loud to it. For now, all I want is a demoable app. So when you're trying to build a structure for it, let's not use any integrations or any backend. I'm just trying to prototype this so that I can get clarity on how I want the app to look and feel like. Right? So all I'm trying is to come up with a good prototype, right? So again, it's talking about the prototype structure. It's helping me come to clarity. Spend as much time as you deem necessary in this stage in order to reach the level of fidelity that you want to, right? Now and only now, I'm going to tag @Lovable. So make sure that it's just clean Lovable, not any GPTs or anything else, just @Lovable. Build me this app, right? What this should trigger for you is this process of authenticating Lovable and giving it permission to connect to ChatGPT, right? If you haven't done that before, at this point, you will be prompted to do so. And as you can see right here, you're going to get this screen saying ChatGPT wants to connect to Lovable, right? So Lovable is an official ChatGPT application, right? So all you got to do is click connect, say that you want to use Lovable in ChatGPT, and reference memories and chats. I think this is very important because that allows Lovable to access this discussion. I'm just going to click continue. I'm going to be prompted in here to allow ChatGPT to access my Lovable account, which I'm gonna do right now. And then when authenticated, Lovable is now connected. I'm actually gonna be able to choose, obviously choose, if you have workspaces, choose whichever one you like. And you can trigger your project creation directly from here, which is, by the way, it's completely nuts in my mind that like I can just chat with ChatGPT, get to clarity and just like tag Lovable and be like, do it, right? And at this point, you can control your build or see your build from two places, right? You can wait inside ChatGPT for the build to initiate, or you can just click open in Lovable and confirm that indeed your project is being started. And as you can see, this is the input prompt that ChatGPT sent to Lovable. Look how structured this is. I'm not technical. I would have never been able to describe my app in this way. So I think if you want to get a takeaway from today's lesson, there are two of them, right? Actually, right? First one is we had a build that we started yesterday. 3 parallel projects, 3 different ways. Pick a winner, right? I picked my winner. I liked it. Then in the second one, I've shown you how you can start it in the 4th way, right? Which is start from ChatGPT and see how different the prompt that ChatGPT sends to Lovable is compared to what my GPT did, compared to your base prompt, compared to your brain dump. The lesson, the key takeaway that I want you to get out of these first couple of days is that there are many ways to start, and that depending on how you start, you're going to have a different level of fidelity in your builds. And that depending on your own preference, you should develop your own style and your own way of building. If you ask me personally, you should probably do all of them, always in parallel, and try to figure out which one looks the best, right? Again, you can use any of my example prompts as usual in day 3. If you need any additional resources, obviously ChatGPT, maybe even Claude. In this case, it's ChatGPT simply because it allows you to do this very powerful integration with Lovable directly. Maybe some people prefer Claude. I get a lot of questions like, why not Gemini? Because we have an official app here. So I think that really helps with structuring things. Again, similar to day 2, grab your story from day 2 as a starting point and try to build your story. If you want to use this companion, it's not necessary though. Like, it's just there for those that are starting to follow me from this day, right? And not understanding that they can actually do it from here, right? Again, I just said before I build, help me think through my idea, gave my day 2 problem statement, and asked ChatGPT to turn it into a clear solution, helping me define what matters the most. And on start of the day tomorrow, we're going to review this build and then compare it against this one, because I picked my winner for day 2. Now let me see how that will stack up against this one. So stick with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep shipping.